Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Today, Scotty G is joining me as we tackle some great listener questions, including thoughts on your arrival day for a big Run Disney race weekend. Of course, Scott and I have done this many, many times, so we talk about what we tend to do nowadays. We also give our thoughts on GEO-82 and what to order or maybe skip when you visit this awesome place at Epcot. First hours on a Disney Cruise Line ship, how to take advantage of that awesome time when you're first setting foot on a cruise line ship, and palate recommendations for dinner specifically. This and much more on today's podcast. And yes, the pools are heated. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure, and the best part, no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That supports our show in a big way. So please click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air. So a huge thank you to each and every one of you. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. So coming over this week, we'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2841 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week, and congratulations again to all the lizards out that traveled out to the West Coast for the Disneyland Half Marathon weekend. Hope you got all those coast-to-coast medals, all those folks who ran down at Walt Disney World for the marathon weekend and then traveled cross-country out to Disneyland, and even the folks who we saw for the first time out there on the West Coast. Maybe you got that 5K medal, started the race out on Main Street, 10K, got to go through both parks, and the half marathon, got to see Anaheim. I will say this about the half marathon in Disneyland. You get to see the sunrise and mountains. I mean, that's what I love. I mean, I know people kind of don't like the half marathon course at Disneyland, a lot of roads. For somebody from the Midwest, seeing the mountains at sunrise, chef's kiss. I do love that. So I hope you had a great time. We're recording this one obviously a little bit early, so it's on the feed. We don't miss anything. So if you're like, what? Something has changed. Things might be a little bit different by the time you hear this hitting your feed, but we're doing the best we can. And joining me today, we've got a lot of us here. It's a Scott and Mike show. Scotty G, must-see adventures in the house. Scott, what's happening on this Wednesday in the future? What's up?
Happy Wednesday. Congratulations again to the Run Disney participants. I always love those. Man, we're closing out I was just thinking that was like the last Run Disney in Anaheim for a while. Just closing another chapter on that for the second time that we've done that now, which is unfortunate. I just really love the race weekends out there. And what, like you were saying about the half marathon course, like it is cool out there. Like you were talking about the mountains, and what's kind of neat about there too, like especially when they had the 4 different race weekends, the half marathon course was always kind of different. Like you would exit the park like in a different direction. Which I think this weekend's did go a little bit differently. If I remember looking at the course map, like it still like ends in the same spot, but it does do a little bit something different, which is what I like about their half marathon course. So congratulations, everyone. Awesome weekend.
Yeah, I can't remember what, obviously recorded this before I ran this particular weekend. I think it was 2 years ago. We were coming on the home stretch. It was about mile 11. This is one of my favorite moments actually from Disneyland, the races. And it kind of caught me by surprise. We were passing a restaurant on the left. It was like a Denny's or something. You know, it was kind of, I think it was open. It was like an early morning, kind of like a diner, but it wasn't like a place I was familiar with. But we were passing that, you know, a couple businesses on the left, but over to the right, you could see the mountains, right? And it was the sunrise. And the sunrise was coming up over the mountains. And I just remember like I was just moved. I was like, that is so beautiful. And I remember telling a couple of runners around me, I literally told them, I was like, look, the sunrise coming up over the mountain. They could care less. So they were probably from California, But I was just like, I told him like because we were moving at that, but I was like, it was like mile 11, like people were trying to get it because we were getting close to home, and but I did like I turned to the people I was running with, and I'm like, look, like I'd never seen the sunrise, right? Look, the sunrise over the mountains, isn't that cool, dude? They could care less. I was like almost in tears. I was like, this is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Like it was gorgeous, but they obviously probably live 15 minutes from that street. But I just, I say this all the time, like I've talked about, like I just got my passport and I'm excited that we'll be using that probably over the next 10 years and seeing the world a little bit. But man, there's so many beautiful places in our country and just the topography of even California, like they call them standard view rooms at the Disneyland Hotel, but I get psyched just looking out my window at the Disneyland Hotel, seeing the mountains out there. That's, if you call that standard view, I call that pretty sweet. We've talked about that many times ourselves.
I do too. Yep. I agree.
So now let me ask you this real quick, because you did some of the Disneyland races. What was your favorite of all? Because you got to do, I think you ran Star Wars one year out there, and I think, did you do the Avengers race ever? I know that there was one year where it was like epically windy. I remember I remember seeing like, I think the Shine Golds were out there that year. Like, I mean, there was like light standards blowing over. It was just crazy. Like the
Santa Ana winds get pretty crazy out there. Unfortunately, I did not do Star Wars out there. I did a couple Dumbo Dares, and then I did the last Avengers one, which is weird because you would fill your Infinity Gauntlet, like you would get like your stones, like, I know you don't know Avengers very well, but you didn't get to finish the collection. It was kind of a bummer. I loved that weekend too. It was kind of interesting because it was always like the weekend after Wine and Dine. That was what was weird. Like, a lot of those race weekends were really close.
Back to back almost, yeah.
Because you'd have Marathon weekend, and then boom, they'd have like, I think Star Wars was right after Marathon weekend, actually, like in January. And then you'd have Princess, and then like Tinkerbell Tinkerbell might have been more like in May, I think. I don't know. But they had some race weekends that were pretty close together. But I really did like that. The traditional one that they kind of call like what they do in January now, but it was over Labor Day weekend. It was just the Dumbo Dare weekend. I just loved that weekend. It was really hot, I will say, though. It gets really hot in September out in Anaheim, but it was just cool. Like I just loved that because I could tack on like an extra, use like one less personal day because of Labor Day weekend. It was kind of like, you're getting into fall. College football is starting and all that. It was just like a fun weekend to go out to Anaheim. I just loved it. And yeah, that was just my favorite race weekend, but they were all great out there.
All right, so let's jump into the questions. We have some here. Thanks to everybody who's joining us in the chat. We got a lot of folks jumping in. We appreciate you guys being here. We usually record on Mondays, usually around 5:30 Eastern. So if you're tuned in for that, come on in. Our good friend Andrew, who runs our wiki, which is a pretty good thing. So go over to beourguestpodcast.com. You can check that out. He's got a couple of questions. He's asking about, he says, do you think the Zootopia show will last long? The unofficial guide review, at least, was pretty scathing. See, I have not seen that yet. You have not seen it yet. Have you? Oh, no, you've seen it. Okay, so you liked it, I believe, the Zootopia.
I did enjoy it. And I mean, I liked Tough to Be a Bug, honestly. Like, I thought that was pretty good, but it was long overdue. And I'm a big fan of Zootopia. I love that franchise. And I enjoyed it. And I think it'll stick around, especially because they just made the second film of the franchise, so it's going to stick around for a while. And unfortunately, the way Disney does things, it'll probably be a Zootopia 3. It kind of set up for another one too, the way that the series was going. So it's going to stick around for a while. But I enjoyed it. I think it was cute. I liked it a lot. It's not something I'll do every time, but honestly, Tough to Be a Bug is something I didn't do every time when I went to Animal Kingdom. So I think it'll stick around for a while.
And I don't think it needs to generate e-ticket kind of crowds. I think it's just one of those things. It just needs to be there to consistently bring some people in. It just doesn't have to be a big thing. It just has to be a thing, I think. Who knows, though? But here's the thing I think about Zootopia, and I've never seen Zootopia, but from what I've read is that Zootopia is super popular with international guests. Like, it's a bigger thing maybe outside the States than even in the States. I know it's, especially at the international parks, I think it's huge. So maybe that's got some legs. Here's a question from, let's see here, at BP Gentry over on YouTube. Hey guys, I'm wondering, what are your big tips for a Run Disney arrival day? That's a good question. because you're going down for a race weekend, trying to maybe save your legs a little bit, but you want to have some fun. Obviously, I always try to go. That's my expo day, but I'd say besides the expo, because that's a Debbie Downer. I hate the expo. So do you. What do you do on a
I'm not the biggest fan of the expo days.
We're not trying to bring down your Wednesday. No, okay. What are you gonna do outside?
It depends
of the
on what
expo?
races you're doing, right? So everyone's Run Disney arrival day could be a little differently. A lot of times when I'm doing a Run Disney weekend, I'm usually doing all the races that are part of it. So my first race is usually going to be the 5K. So for my Run Disney arrival day, if the next morning is going to be the 5K, like that's probably going to be the day I'm going to do the most stuff, right? Because
same.
like I know my body pretty well, and I feel like, yeah, I can spend a few hours in the park. I can stay up a little later, and I know I can rebound pretty well in the morning and crush a 5K. And by crush, I mean wake up and walk the 5K.
Get there and finish. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So my strategy is like that's going to be probably my best day for park touring. And I don't know if this is in line with Disneyland. I know we're recording this a little ahead of time. It's after Disneyland now, but I'm thinking about the last time I did a Disneyland. That was the day I toured the best on the last Disneyland race I did. We were there park opening, and like closed down. Like we did park hopping that day. We were in DCA. We closed down Disneyland and woke up the next day. Boom, did a race. So that's kind of how I do that first day. And then as the weekend goes on, I casually do a little less park touring, sitting down, spending a little more time in lounges, sitting on park benches a little bit more, going to bed a little bit earlier. And that's just kind of how I do the weekend. I think you're kind of similar,
That's
right?
That's exactly how I do it. The only thing I do is I kind of really, the arrival day, I set up the room. That's where I focus on getting the room set up for the race weekend. Like I make sure my groceries are there, like I'm going to Amazon Prime, the foods and stuff. I get that from Bell Services. And I've learned, like I did this at Marathon weekend, is that I'll order it the night before at home and get it like set up to be delivered to the Bell Services at the hotel. So when I get there the next day, it's already there. I just go get it and I get it set up that night. So it's all set for the whole race weekend. I have my sodas, my waters, my Gatorades, everything I need in the room, snacks. But yeah, I'm the same way. Like as the weekend goes on, I do less and less. So I'm more aggressive early because, the shorter races are earlier. That's a good call. All right, here's a question. Somebody's got to run here because of the ice they got to get going. It says, hey, this is from Jen. Hey, can't stay long as I need to get out before the roads ice over in Pennsylvania, but I got a question. Are the pools truly heated at Walt Disney World? I thought they were 82 degrees year round, but lots of posts saying the pools have not been heated in a while. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, they're heated.
They're heated for sure. Now, the air temperature when you leave is not guaranteed to be heated, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I've been like, so one of my most famous stories, and I've told it here on the podcast a few times, is that back before the podcast, back when I was a rookie going to Walt Disney World, Pam and I just teachers, well before Mallory was born. Again, she's 18 now. It was just Paige. We didn't know what we were doing. We had a burn bombs guide in a car. That's all we had. And we're like, you know what? We're off on Christmas break. Let's go to Florida. Let's go to Disney. Let's do, we were the family. Let's go to Disney. And that was like, that's all we knew. Got the Ultimate Park Hopper ticket, stayed at All-Star Sports. First thing I told Paige was like, dude, we're going to Florida and we're going to swim because it's going to be hot when we get there. Dude, it was not hot when we got there. It was freezing when we got to Florida. Everybody's in coats, but Pam's like, you told Paige you were going to swim because she was like 6 or 7, and I'm trying to win her over still. I don't even know if we were married at the time yet. I'm like, she's like, you are getting in that pool because you've been telling her for a week you were going to swim with her in Florida. She's like, that pool's supposed to be heated. I'm like, yeah, but it's like 45 degrees. I'm like, I'm going to get pneumonia as soon as I step out of that pool because you could see the steam, right? The pool was fine. And we had we were not close at All-Star Sports to the pool. But I did swim because I was still trying to catch Pam at the time. And so we had a nice swim and a frigid walk back to the room at All-Star Sports. And then I got a hot shower. But whew.
So my advice for that, and we usually do the hot tub like when it's kind of in colder days too.
That's a better idea.
But we will always bring our towels to like the entry to because a lot of times too you're not going to see as many people in the pools. So
I think I was the only one that day.
So where the steps are, like where you enter the pool, we will bring like 3 or 4 towels and just leave them right there, so that when we exit the pool, bam, our towels are like right there to instantly start drying off, instead of having to like do the long walk to like your chair. Because those are some cold steps if it's cold outside. So like to have the towels close by. That's kind of like one of our hacks that we do when it's cold, because getting out of that pool, like you said, Mike, that's tough.
And I don't think I think I probably just had like one towel. This was like, I didn't know, I have a clue. I probably had like one towel from, the rack there and, trunks, and that was it, dude. Stroll, like Adidas flip flops. I just remember it was like one of the coldest strolls ever. I know it's cold around the country right now, but dude, cold.
Yeah.
All right. Matty Rowe 88 has a question. Hey guys, what are your thoughts on GEO-82? Any recommendations on what to get? Hope to check it out in August. Scotty G, we're both big fans of GEO-82. I mean, any kind of Epcot fan needs to go there. I'm not, I'm not a connoisseur of that kind of stuff, but I loved the old fashioned. I thought it was really good, but I mean, I'm not like an old fashioned expert, but I thought it was super tasty. So, recommendations, Scotty G. What do you think?
I mean, the brown buttered old fashioned is delicious. It is really good. Can't recommend it enough. Now it's funny. I think I recommended it before on the podcast, and I have a friend of mine that loves old fashions, listens to the show, and they sent me a private message after the show. They said, "Scotty, I love you." But
people
disagree.
always tell Scotty, I love you.
He said, "I disagree with you on that old fashioned." So I'm just going to put that out there. He's the only one. He knows who he is. He's the only one that I've heard say that they don't like that old fashioned. So
did they prefer something else to the old fashioned to GEO-82, or was it they just
they liked the bourbon flight, which I like the bourbon flight too there. So the bourbon flight is good. Now I will say, like, it's a little bit on the pricier side, both of those drinks. Like, so the bourbon flight, you're gonna taste 4 really unique, bourbons, because there's some like select bourbons to GEO-82 that you can only get there. And the old fashioned is pretty pricey considering like other cocktails I can get at Epcot or other lounges, but it's really good. It's really good. The bartenders are so crafty there. They make great drinks. The service is great. And that's kind of what I'm getting at here too, is that it's an open bar. Like they have everything behind the bar. So if you're looking at that menu and something doesn't jump out to you, just talk to your server or go up to the bar and talk to the bar service and tell them what you like, and they're going to find something for you. It's a great spot. If you love Epcot, even if you don't like alcohol, like if you're just like into mocktails, or you just want to go up and see the space, I still highly recommend doing that, because it is just a cool spot to just hang out and just see the view of Future World or whatever the neighborhoods are called now. And it's just a cool spot. I just love it there.
I agree. Yeah, any kind of Disney fan, any kind of person that loves Epcot, get up there. I mean, it's an experience just from the entranceway. Like, you go in, there's artwork, the lighting, the decorations. It's so cool. All right, question from Dr. Michael here. We'll have seen him at this point now to Disneyland. Best post-race snack at Disneyland. So you run all the races. Disneyland's got the best snacks. You know what? I don't know if I had it or not because I'm back, but we're recording this one early. I am obsessed. Before I go, I got to get that Mickey waffle that's red, that's got the cinnamon cream in the middle over at Schmoozie's at DCA. Yeah. That red velvet waffle. That's for sweet, but then I always get that thing at Edelweiss Snacks. That's my savory thing, like the big thing. But that's probably the two things. But Michael says, the corn dog never tasted better after the half last year. You can't go wrong. Now, there's 2 places to get the corn dog. Get the little red wagon corn dog, which everybody does, but also sometimes I just get it over at not the Golden Corral. It's not the Golden Corral. That's a place on the corner that Pam won't let me go. I've never been to a Golden Corral because Pam will not step foot in one.
I don't think it's as good there. I'm just definitely not the Golden Corral.
She won't let me go there. I'm like, Pam, I see the commercials all the time. They look fun. She's like, we will never go there. I'm like, what? I want to go. She won't let me go.
Maybe it's a hot take. Maybe it's controversial. I don't think the red corn dog truck thing is not the same. It's not good.
Easy. Okay, go ahead.
You got to go to the corn dog plaza or whatever, the corn dog
Palace at DCA.
Palace, thank you.
Yes, at DCA.
In DCA or in Frontierland.
What's that place called? It's the Golden Horseshoe.
Yeah, right? It's like right next door to it.
It's by the petrified tree.
Yeah. I can't think of the name of it. Man, I need to just book a Disneyland trip because it's been a couple
You're
years.
going soon.
I'm losing the names of these
I'm
places.
jealous because you'll be there in like 3 weeks.
I will be.
Yeah.
I will be. I know, like you're tagging me in, Mike. You were just there
Boom,
now.
I
I'm
know,
going.
boom, I'm out. You're in. That's right.
It's my turn. But yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of playing around. I don't. The red card is fine, but I like the other two places better personally.
The thing is, there's so many good snacks just wherever you go. I mean,
So many good snacks. I mean, I'm gonna be that guy that just like picks the popular one here, but I just love being in the French market and just getting like a beignet. I love the beignet and the mint julep. That is just something classic about that for me in Disneyland.
that is so good, dude. I get one of those every time too. I just sit there.
Especially if there's like a live performer, like we were talking about live music in a previous episode. Like, so good.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Because I just remember last time I did exactly that because I was there by myself, right? And I just called Pam. Actually, I had to FaceTime her because I had to show off the beignet and the mint julep. And I'm just sitting there on a bench. You know, I think the train was going by behind me in New Orleans Square, getting that powdered sugar all over my shirt. I'm just like, I'm living the life, man. I think, like a trombone player or somebody came by. And I'm like, you hear that? Like, that's jazz. I'm in New Orleans Square at Disneyland eating a beignet. I'm like, this is so good. And then for dinner that night, before that, a couple hours earlier, I had eaten right there too at that Tiana's restaurant there. That's a little table service or counter service place. Got a little like a circus tent above it, and I'm sitting there eating. There's like a little mini stage there, and like a little 3-piece band came out and started playing while I was having like jambalaya or something. I was like, this is great. It was so good.
And Dr. L's talking about the corn dogs, but like this, Mike, I love the corn, just the straight up corn at Disneyland. It's so good.
I know. Where can you go around just eating corn?
Dude, I just love walking around Disneyland, just holding some corn and just walking around, just biting into some corn. Like there's nothing more Disneyland than that.
Yeah, it's what we always say. You got to have one of 3 things in your hand. You got to have corn, a churro, or a Mickey bar. One of the 3 things you walk around Disneyland. All right, our good friend Ian, speaking of Pennsylvania, out in PA, what are your favorite things to get at the Palo dinner, from drinks all the way to dessert? Now, let me give a couple, because I'm very predictable. I always get the steak at Palo dinner. In my dessert, this is why we go to Palo dessert. I mean, I almost didn't go to Palo this last cruise, but then Scott's like, but you're not going to be able to get the souffle. And then I immediately booked Palo dinner. I'm like, you're right. I got to get the souffle because that's what Pam loves. I love. So I always get those 2 things. We usually don't get drinks, but so that's those 2 things. I always get the steak and the souffle. But Scott, what do you do different things?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to do the filet there, but I switched it up on the fantasy, which I think Ian did too, maybe on her last cruise, and I got the sole, which was fantastic because they they did it right. They served it right there, like I'm forgetting the term. Oh my god, I had a long day at work today, but
same brother.
Not carved. That's not the word I want to use. But
is it fillet?
Yes.
Look at that! Right, I know. Look at that.
But which was awesome. So the sole was really good because I love getting the sole at Topolino's at the Riviera, and I was like, you know what, I'm switching it up tonight. So I got the sole, which was really great. I learned a little tip from our friend Jared. He's been doing this at Palo. Because the gnocchi is really good there. We love the gnocchi. But he's been getting like the gnocchi sauce on the filet. My gosh, that is so good. Love the souffle as well. But one of my drinks that I really love, because the bar is the drink menu is basically the Meridian like bar, right? That's right there. And I really love the sidecar. I think that is a terrific drink. That's one of my go-tos when I go to Meridian. And basically when I usually go to Meridian first before I go to Palo dinner. So I walk in with a sidecar, which is, I love that. Like if you order like a drink, you're at Meridian, Mike, and then they call your table, and then like the host will like take your drink. They have like this little tray that they'll walk over with your drink.
I want to get a sidecar. That just sounds like a cool drink.
Dude, you would love a sidecar. I think you would enjoy it.
I gotta get that. I like.
And then they have like the white glove service. They carry your drinks over.
That. That's so cool.
It's so cool. And then I usually order like another one. Or sometimes I'll like ask for like a nice wine pairing to go with like the fish or the fillet or whatever I do. But yeah, I love getting the sidecar. And then you nailed it with the dessert, no doubt. So good.
That's souffle, man. Because it's the whole thing, right? They bring that up like, don't touch it. It's 1,000 degrees. It's like a space shuttle heat towel or something, And then like, would you like me to poke the thing and put? Heck yeah, that's why I'm here. Yeah,
I know, right?
Do people say no? Are you kidding me? Yeah, poke the thing.
I
and
can't
drop
wait
us
to
up.
share our video of our last Apollo dinner because our server was like really into it. I was like, "Are you cool if I like?" Because I like to ask, like I'm filming and stuff, but like, are you cool if you're on camera, like talking? And she's like, "Oh yeah, I love this. Like I want to talk to the camera." So she got really into it. So she's like talking to the camera a bunch. Like I can't wait to share that one because
That's cool.
she was awesome.
All right, here we get another question about speaking of cruise from @JMillerTime over on YouTube.
Oh, he's going to Alani this week,
That's
or
right.
he's just coming back when this post.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who knows? We're doing a time warp here with these shows. What's the first thing you do when you get on a Disney Cruise Line ship? So I do go to the buffet. Yeah, eat. I go to Cabanas. Sometimes you sit down, but I go to Cabanas and just first thing I do though, seriously, is I start doing this actually in the terminal as I start hearting things because you connect to the Wi-Fi, the cruise line Wi-Fi, then you can start to see what's happening day by day and kind of the micro things. And I start hearting the trivias, the events happening throughout the ship. So I get the alerts. Then I go to the buffet. I also take care of any like minor things like dining situations I have. I do those first thing. If I want to get a Palo reservation or change a Palo time or day, I do all that stuff. Just get that out of the way. But then after that, like you have that time between like your stateroom being ready and the muster drill. That's when I kind of just run around the ship and grab an ice cream cone. I love that time. It's just like a free for all. Like I'm on a ship. I'm just like, like I grab ice cream cones. I'll grab like a couple chicken tenders later. I don't know. I used to swim or like do the aqueduct. I'm kind of don't do that anymore, but
I never do that. I've never actually once have done that. Which is interesting, right? Because you could just have like a day bag, right, with like your swimsuit and everything. You see a lot of people doing it. It's probably a really great idea, but I just don't. But you nailed it with like the looking at the navigator on the app. Like by the time like we finish lunch, Emily has like already like figured out our plan for the whole cruise. I love that. I love her for that.
And also, I mean, if somebody does that, it's such peace of mind with being able to heart that because then you won't miss anything because the alert will give you the alert like 15 minutes before the event. And what that does, it just kind of nudges you saying, hey, this is happening. And then you get to make the call because if you're doing something else or if you're just chilling on a lounge chair and it's a beautiful day, you don't have to do it. You could just say, I'm having a better time doing this, but you won't miss it. Because with the paper navigators and the highlighters and all that stuff, it would have been easy to miss things. Back in the day we did, but I do love that about the Navigator app. That's one of the best features ever, but you do have to, somebody has to invest the, 20, 30 minutes, but you could easily do that while you're scarfing down some shrimp, initially.
For sure. And I also like to, it's just, there's something about that first couple hours of cruise feeling, you just feel so good, so I do like to go up to Currents or something, and just get like the drink of the day or something. And it just like, not necessary. I mean, it's not necessary, but like, it's just something about like, I'm on vacation. I'm going to get some tropical fruity drink, it just feels like so good. Right. So I do like to go up to like, cause not all the lounges or bars are open, which I always find kind of interesting, but they're just like prepping for the day, getting all that stuff. So, but there are like a couple of the pool bars are open. So I'll kind of go up there and, talk to some of the wait staff, get a drink and just wait for the room to get ready. And that is like a weird time because you got to wait for muster, then you got to sail away. So you are kind of like in this weird limbo. It's like a lot of times we find ourselves just like hanging out in the room for a little bit too, like just catching some AC while we're waiting for the muster, but I wish I was on a ship right now.
I know but it is like you're like on this, you're seriously on like a high though, because you've been looking forward, because like cruises you look forward to, I think more than even like land vacations. Like you look for land vacations forever, but like a cruise, I don't know. For me, it's like just a notch more special. And just like being in your stateroom, like, this is my stateroom, and you're kind of like, you get excited even when your luggage arrives, because like that's something you don't get at Walt Disney World or Disneyland. Like, oh, we got our, here's my suitcases here. Is your suitcase? I mean, it's always like your suitcase might not show up. The suitcases always show up, like, and then you get to meet your stateroom host. Like you're excited about that. You talk to them. I don't know. You're right, but it is kind of that first couple hours is just it's kind of fun.
What a fun thing to do is, for a veteran cruiser or anyone. So something I recommend if anyone's looking for something to do is after you've done all this, especially if you boarded early, go back to like deck 4 or something and just kind of hang out like in the atrium and just watch a new guest like board the ship.
Yes.
And hear their name get called and just see their reaction to like, I mean, and like some of them might just like breeze by because then you know, like, oh, they've been on the ship a bunch, but like it's just kind of cool to see like a kid like looking up and like pointing at like a character that's just hanging out. Like it's just kind of cool to see like another family like board the ship for like the first time for that sailing. I just think that's kind of fun to watch.
The worst was one time we were doing a training with the agency, and so we were touring. We had a bunch of agents who had not been on a Disney cruise, right? But we were touring a ship for like a couple hours while it was in port. We drove over from World to Port Canaveral, and so they're showing us like the concierge rooms, all that stuff. But we didn't, obviously we weren't cruising. But some of our agents had not been on a cruise, so I took a couple of them, and like we just did the same thing. We stood on the atrium and saw folks boarding the ship, and I was like, "Watch this! This is cool. This is how people board the ship." And I'm like, "God, I just want to go on this cruise so bad."
Well, in that case, that's wrong. That's bad.
Dude, it was the worst. I'm like, they're gonna kick us off in an hour. It's terrible. Let's see here. We got TCS Food Blog. Do you have to get a beard trim or a haircut at Hook's Barbery to get an old fashioned on the Wish, or can you just get an old fashioned? Side note, can't wait to get the cabanas on Castaway. I think you can just get a drink there, right?
Yeah, you could just go up there.
Yeah.
Or buy one of their specialty.
You got a coin. Yeah, dude.
Some of those specialty ones you can get a
thing.
coin.
Yeah, I didn't understand that whole. I just kind of stood in the background there, but the Hook's Barbery is a whole experience, man. That's like a notch up of going to kind of explain the Hook's Barbery real quick. Like, don't spend a ton of time on it, but like for folks that don't understand, it's like a bar inside of a barber shop on the Wish class ships, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a hidden bar.
It's like a speakeasy kind of in a way, So it's like its main purpose is like a barber shop, right? But then there's a little cabinet tucked away in the corner with some bourbons and some other liquors. So the barbers are also bartenders, so you can kind of go in there and, you don't have to have a reservation or anything. You can just kind of look around in the corner and be like, hey, mind fixing me a little old fashioned?
It's so wild.
And then there'll be like in the middle of a hair. It was kind of funny. When we did it on the podcast cruise, one of our friends, I think Matt, was getting his hair cut while we're all in there like getting old fashions. He's like, "Come on, guys, I'm trying to get a beard trim or whatever," and you're all in there having fun. But yeah, it's kind of cool. One tricky thing is though, they do a lot of like tastings in there now, so it's kind of closed a lot. I've noticed. Like the last time I sailed the ship on the Wish, like I noticed it was hard to get in there. So just like, so the hours can be kind of rough, I would say, for Hooks. So just try to like open the navigator and just kind of see when they're open and stuff. But like, just know that it might be a challenge to get in there sometimes.
It's a good point. It is because it's up. So if you've never been, like, and you walk past, you'll see it. It's kind of in the very front of and off to the side there of the barbershop. But it is it's a unique idea. I just wonder
It's
like
cool.
where Disney came up with that, because it is a cool concept. I mean, barbershop in a little speakeasy bar.
So I have a Wish coin. I'm hoping this summer to get a treasure coin. I'm gonna be on there for 7 nights, so I like my chances.
I like your chances. All right, Dave, my good friend, ran with he and his daughter down at Marathon Weekend. Hey, what's
That
up,
was
guys?
so cool. I can't wait to do that with Emily.
Dude, it was
for
the
a full
best.
marathon.
And his daughter, Abigail, just ran a gajillion miles on the treadmill the other day. So she's winning. The treadmill is becoming a habit. See, it spreads. I heard Mike talk about watching the Starlight Parade on Marathon Sunday. We watched it too, and our takeaway was that Walt Disney World did a good job making the characters and floats easier to see for people that are further away from the curb. We were way in the back and found it super easy to see the parade and all the characters. That's a great point. It is. I mean, the floats are bigger and kind of the characters are super high up. That's a good point. You agree with
So
that?
have you watched it?
Yes.
Did you watch it then?
Yes, but I was right on the curb too.
You probably shared your thoughts on another episode that I probably haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you weren't on that show. Yes. So what I said
I wasn't on that episode.
I liked it, but it was not Spectro Magic or Main Street Electrical Parade. It was kind of like Spectro or Main Street Electrical Parade light to me.
I'm going to listen to the episode when I shovel snow after today.
There you go.
I have it downloaded.
Yeah, no. I really liked it, and I'm so glad there's a nighttime parade, and it brought like energy to it was great. I mean, I'm not down on it at all, but it just was like maybe 85% of like Spectro and Main Street Electrical Parade to me. What do you think? Same?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't care for the music that much. I mean, I've only seen it once, and you know my thoughts on that. Like, I got to see it again to have like a really stronger opinion on it, but it kind of missed for me a little bit. But got to see it again. And I saw it in Frontierland, so which I like. I like seeing parades in Frontierland, so I want to watch it again, like on Main Street, maybe just to get another perspective on it. But it was good. It was really good. But you're right. It definitely wasn't a Main Street Electrical Parade by any means.
But yeah, things grow on you over time. But I probably didn't rave about Happily Ever After the first viewing. But man, I'm a fan.
Here's what you'll think of Paint the Night on your first time.
Oh, dude, I cannot wait to see that. So I only get to see it once because it's like on Sunday nights, the only showing that I get to.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. So, dude, I'm staking it out like I'm from Anaheim that night. I promise you, it's the night of the half.
You will be.
Because I mean, I've already run, so whatever. Let's see here. Have any of Amy over on Facebook? Thanks for tuning in. Have any of you done the Disney virtual runs? Thoughts on whether they're worth it? Scott, I have not because I'm cheap. I'm tight, dude. No, I have not.
I have. Actually, I have some cool medals. I think I have one right here. Look at this. Look at this one right here.
Holy. Now, see, those things are, they need to do like that kind of medal for a real race. I want Space Mountain. Come on now.
I know. That's so to me, the virtual ones are kind of,
real quick. Audio people, Scotty G's holding up this awesome Space Mountain 5K medal. It's sweet.
This is why I did the 2021 because they were all theme park ones. I think I have I have a Haunted Mansion one too. I know this is a podcast, an audio podcast, but
he's flashing like some of the best medals that Run Disney's ever created right here.
And they were for a virtual. Yeah. so that's why I've done some of the virtual ones because the medals are so cool. But I mean, it's an interesting concept. It gets you out there being active, right? You know, so you go out there and it's kind of neat. Like they give you like a virtual bib too. So like, I know, my friend David out in like, the Detroit area, like he's printed like a bib, you know, and he's actually ran, you know, his virtuals and like tried to take it serious, you know, like by having the bib on and stuff like that, and which I think is kind of neat, you know. So and there's no like requirement that you have to submit that you did this with Disney, basically. So you do the races, they'll ship the medals to you, and you know, then you're done, basically. So you're just paying for the registration, they ship the medals to you. But it's cool. It's something that I don't do as much anymore. I kind of did it more so when they're like on the hiatus during the pandemic, just because I wanted to kind of stay active with Run Disney, things like that. But
no, I think it's a great, what it does is it extends the accessibility of a Run Disney experience beyond just the folks who can, you know, be able to get the time, you know, let's face it. I mean, getting time off to get to the race weekends is a challenge, and the logistics of all that. And plus it could be an introduction into the Run Disney, you know, whole experience for folks, and the medals are enticing. Now, do you remember, like, I mean, how expensive was like a virtual compared to like in person? Because I've never looked at the pricing. Is it? Really
surprised
expensive?
me that it was more expensive than you might think.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
That's
what I figured.
Yeah. But definitely not what it would be like for like a springtime surprise or any of the other race weekends.
Do you get a shirt?
If I recall, like there was like. I don't remember. Like this one was like 6 years ago, so I can't remember exactly. There might be like one overall shirt, maybe not like for all the races, because usually there's like 3 of them, and then there's like a challenge if you do like all 3 of them, kind of a deal. But
I know just recently, weren't they doing like I think over the holiday, like a 12?
They did a Muppets
holidays of the Muppets or something. Yeah, that. Now see again.
They do cool themes for
I was
these.
gonna say, that's what I was gonna say, dude. They're right. Whoever's doing those is super smooth though, because the medals are cool and the themes are outstanding. Like, I mean, the Muppets. Just think if like they did, you know, Marathon Weekend Muppets theme or something, you know, or just Wine and Dine all Muppets, you know, or something like that.
But get this though, they still sell out. The virtual ones still sell out. So that's another tip for you. Just because it's virtual, don't think like, oh, well, I'll log in a few days after and sign up. Like, it's still one of those where like, oh, let's make sure I'm there at 10 a.m. to sign up, because those still sell out right away.
Okay, we've talked about that because I've seen people signing up for those. I remember talking actually online with Jason about that on one of the registrations for a virtual. Is it because I'm curious, like what Run Disney's thinking on that, right? Because one, does it obviously it creates a kind of a fake supply and demand, because obviously they could just print as many medals as they want for a virtual. There's no reason why you couldn't, because you're just basically printing money at that point. I don't understand like why they cap a virtual, because they're just churning away money. There's no reason not to, but I guess it does. I guess they're looking like they're playing the long game, right? Because if you make it like, a constrained product, the next time you do it, people are going to jump on it faster, possibly. Right.
I think you nailed it. I think that's what it is. I honestly don't know, but it could be like a shipping problems, like, I don't know, like, who knows? I really can't explain it.
Amy says, Amy followed up, my son wants race medals to add to his bull riding buckles, so this will be perfect for him. The flashier, the better. I like that. Well, bull riding buckles and Run Disney race medals, but it's a good combination. Oh,
yeah. So it sounds like it's not always a shirt either. So it's kind of like a mix of some swag, right? So like the Christmas one had 4 ornaments, a hat, and a corsicle. So that's kind of cool. Oh, nice. Summer one had a snack bowl and some really fun snack shaped medals. Okay. So maybe it's not always like a shirt that you always get. So
I like that, especially for a virtual, mix it up. It sounds like too, they're working with sponsors like Corksicle. I guess that's one of those like mugs or the.
Yeah. I even have a virtual Dopey, Mike. The one year that like in 2021, that was one that I did, because remember I did the marathon in a day.
You were
saying that's the marathon for that year.
You did that. I was like, dude, you're nuts. I was like, I know. Nope.
I know.
I do crazy stuff. Not that crazy. And our friend Mel down in Australia, she's tuned in over on Instagram. Hey, Mel. She says, sadly, they do not ship to Australia. That's a shame. If our international friends can't do the virtual stuff. You think that'd be the folks? It's hardest for them to get to the races. Make it happen.
That would make the most sense to do the virtual for.
I mean, Mel, she's kind enough to international ship like Tim Tams to the States for my consumption. We should be able to send her medals. Come on, Run Disney, make it happen. It's not right. Tim Tams. Those things lasted all of like 2 days around this place once Mallory found them. So sad. All right, we got to close this out. We're going to come back on Friday and have some more fun. So hang out with us if you're tuned in live. Don't go anywhere. Don't forget today's podcast brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We love to help you plan your next Disney vacation for no additional cost to you. This is the great time to get that 2026 trip on the books. Just swing by themagicforless.com. Please also use that Amazon affiliate link when you do that online shopping. That supports our show throughout the year. It really does help us out. Just click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep this whole operation going. So a huge thank you to each and every one of you. When you support us over there for just $5 a month, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. You can follow me on the social media at BeOurGuestMike. That's on Instagram, X.com, and Threads. You can follow Scott in the same places at EpScott. That's EPSCOT. But where you need to follow him, because when it's cold outside, the hot channel is must-see adventures. So, Scott, I know this is a little bit in the future, but what do you think? Use that crystal ball. Put on the, the thinking cap here. What's happening on the channel? Karnak. I couldn't remember what his name was. Got to be careful with that one. What's happening on the channel here in early February?
I think it's definitely going to be last summer's summer trip, Be Our Guest podcast cruise. I think we're going to be like having our Splitsville meets, nice. Around there, or boarding the Magic. So you will definitely have made your debut by now, Mike, which is awesome. We're going to get all the subscribers now that you're going to be on Must See Adventures. And I just remembered it's debone. I think that's the term I was looking for.
Okay, good. That works. Okay, debone.
It just hit me. But yeah, it's gonna be lots of fun. There's us hanging out at the boardwalk and like doing all this stuff at Walt Disney World. Go tune in, like and subscribe. It's a lot of fun if you're missing some summertime in Walt Disney World in these winter months.
All right, and let's see. I think we will have a live call-in show this Sunday night. They're going to be few and far between here for the next few weeks because of cheerleading and some other stuff. So give us a call this Sunday night. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We'll make those phones work one more time. So give us a call on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And finally, the place to be, this is always going on, is the Clubhouse. It's our Discord server. It's the nicest Disney community on the internet. Coming over. It's free for everybody. We're waiting for you. If you haven't been there for a while, come on back. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right, we're going to be back on Friday. Having a good time. It'll be another Mike and Scott show, so hang out with us. We're so glad you're here. So for Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.